It is really important. What, am I gonna cry just talking about it? You're alone in the garage by yourself. Oh, that was a really important video. Need for Speed Underground 2 is my favorite game of all times, and a lot of you can share the same exact feelings. It is what got me into cars. This M3 behind me would not be here if I didn't grow up on Underground 2, and I know a lot of you guys share these same feelings. So if you haven't heard, I make a lot of different headlight videos specifically, and normally you'll see me at like Headlight Revolution, but I've also been behind the scenes filming other videos and ads for other companies like the Retrofit Source.
Welcome to the Retrofit Source garage. Here we carry the best brands in automotive lighting.
Now the Retrofit Source came to me and asked, can you make an ad that's going to be compelling? Now selfishly I did exactly what I wanted. I've always wanted to make a Need for Speed Underground 2 scene. And the Retrofit Source completely started by customizing headlights. So I thought, why not do a car customizing thing where they show all the different featured products on different vehicles. Now, this was no small task, and it actually almost didn't happen. So in this video, I want to walk you guys through how we made this ad and a little bit of behind the scenes work that went into it. Now, right off the bat, what you guys are seeing is actual vehicles being sourced and parked in the corner and then filmed. Every single click that you hear is a different install. That means sometimes we had to open the hood, undo the bumper, remove all of the plastics on the top, and replace the headlight housing, put it all back together, shut the hood, and then click, get the second shot, and do it again. The way we got the shots is we used 3 different cameras. So we had camera 1, and then camera 2 was already set up in another area, say by the fog light. We then took a third camera and put it right up next to this camera 1, and I used a stabilizer, and I went as carefully as possible, walked it over to the second camera. Now, a huge shout out to my entire team at that time. This was just a year ago. Josh Walquist, he did a really good job getting COVID so he can take extra time on all of the graphics that you see, like the wall. As you can see, it says the Retrofit Source and a bunch of graffiti. That's really easy to do on the wall until you have to track motion it, which means that that stays on the wall when you go from one camera to the second, going in between the other one to the third camera. It was a pain in the butt for him, and I made him redo it about 1,000 times. Also, if you look on the top, all of these different graphics on the top here, these were just sourced off the internet. Actually, another team member, Val, and he did an incredible job on these. I think they look great and very authentic. If you ever compared these to the Need for Speed Underground game, I think you'd be impressed. Now, a couple of the fun things, obviously, as we scroll through it, you're gonna see the suspension. That was really easy. That was just another layer. We traced around it and moved it around a little bit. All in all, it was an extremely fun video to film. It was my personal favorite video I've ever filmed out of about 3,000 videos. So yeah, it's a big deal to me. And honestly, I try to hold back tears about how important Need for Speed Underground 2 was for me, because that has completely changed my life, right? The trajectory of what we've done in our lives is totally based off of our childhood. And as you can see, this car behind me and my Ford Bronco and all these other vehicles that I've ever had in my past were all because I was left alone in a room with the PlayStation or with the GameCube playing video games. So it is really important. It is really important. What, am I gonna cry just talking about it? You're alone in the garage by yourself. To some people, yeah, I get it, it's just an ad, but to me, it meant a lot. It was a big fight, like I said. Those are actual cars. That's an actual Porsche Carrera GT, the same car that Paul Walker had died in. And we got it in here. It's a $2 million car, probably more at this point with inflation. And we parked it, we drove it. The sounds you hear with it revving up, playing Black Betty in the background, that was from that car. And to me, that's super cool. And to end on the Supra, which is also an iconic car because of Fast and Furious, all of that was based off of Fast and Furious, Need for Speed Underground 2, and everything that made the car culture what it essentially is today. And lastly, Justin Marutz did a really good job helping wherever we needed in the editing process and so on. So it was 4 people working full-time for about 4 days. And then, like I said, thanks to Wally for getting COVID, he then edited graphics for over 2 weeks, and our iMacs were on fire.
You got the car and upgrades are in. Now go light up the road.
The cool part though is when I filmed that, I was using some old equipment, and now I've got some really good cameras. And so I guess it really comes down to, should we make something like that again? Should we go back and do Need for Speed Most Wanted? I don't know, maybe not so much as an ad, but maybe here on this channel, because at the end of the day, this is the channel that I get to do whatever I want. So please subscribe, like, share it with your friends. I do love making car videos, but more importantly, I like making money through real estate to buy more cars and feed that obsession and help a lot of you guys also make money to do the same thing.